Trail Smoke Eaters, the Penticton V's, two local teams from small BC towns, where the players worked all day and played hockey all night. Both did the impossible. They traveled halfway around the globe and beat the best the world had, including the Soviets' Red Army, showing the world once and for all, hockey was Canada's game.
If you read the story of this team going through Europe, what really hits you is the fact that these, basically, they're young men, very young men, from a smaller community. Most of them were working at Cominco with their 9-to-4 or 9-to-5 jobs, and you know, they'd apply for leave of absences to go play.
We had to raise about $20,000, I think it is. And they had a map up in the old Hudson's Bay building, and it showed how far they got today, you know. And first thing you know, we weren't even as far as Ottawa, for God's sake. And then all of a sudden, it took off. And then we were in Scotland, and then first thing you know, we were in Germany. And once we knew that, there's people all across Canada were behind us.
The amount of games that they had to play to raise money in order to pay for the team to be there, it's an amazing story of commitment and courage to accomplish their goal.
Well, hockey is our culture in Canada, and they're starting to tell the world what we are. 1955 was a rubber game, and that's in a lot of books. Foster Hewitt said, they all said, that that's the game that we had to win to prove to the world that hockey was our game.
Well, hockey is a very special sport, especially back the way we knew it and we played it. If you're on championships, you've got to play as a team. That brings a bond between you, and it carries on for the rest of your life.
But it was the way we loved it. We'd gone through all that adversity, and we kept coming. You never quit. You persist, and you do it.
And I said, well, look, superstars don't win championships. Teams do.
I was able to, you know, sit in a locker room of a team of men that most people never in their lifetime would have a chance to see. Listen to the bantering back and forth, and you know how they would push each other. And
sure, we fought amongst each other once in a while on the ice and practices. But boy, when we stepped on that ice, that was the team, and that's why we won.
A team of men that come from a community of maybe 20,000 people, and had beat the entire hockey world and won a world championship.
All the guys we brought in were very close. We trained hard, worked hard.
We won so many games by one goal or by overtime. It was something very special was happening.
Just a great bunch of guys, and I'm proud to be part of the team, you know.
We were the first group or organization to go behind the Iron Curtain to play or do anything from the West.
The Russians were so disliked in Europe because of the war. They had beaten Canada the previous year. In fact, they'd beaten everybody pretty badly the year before. So they put together their first big red machine team. And there was a huge amount of pressure on us to win.
It was an experience with the people. It's hard to explain how much they wanted us to win. And I remember sitting on that Czech airplane, and the steward come by to me, and he dropped the note in my hand. And on the note I had Canada 10, Russia nothing, but he came back and picked the note up again. He had to be careful what he did.
We came out of those countries better people than when we went in.
They toughened us up. We got toughened up behind the Iron Curtain for 10 days, and boy, we were ready for them.
We were tuned into the commies, you know. There was added incentive, no doubt.
Well, that final game, really, when we got out on the ice, it wasn't much said in the dressing room. We had them skating around with their heads up, and they were looking. Yeah, we beat them real good. When it was all over with all the Army and the Air Force guys jumping over the boards, we just had to stop, because some of us were crying. One of the guys, Dino Moscato, I can always remember him, with tears rolling down his face. And then all of a sudden we all lined up at the blue line, the Russians on one side. And then when they walked around and they raised the flag for us, the Canadian flag, there's some feeling that it's hard to explain. Well, it's hard to believe that this town was like, you know, I mean, they were lined up all along. They had posters, 4x8 posters, pictures of us up on the lampposts all the way in. This is, 10 days after.
You're talking about the Penticton V's or the trail smoke eaters. You just have to look in their eyes. You can see the intensity and the commitment that is still there. They still feel it when they talk about it. The great part that I saw with these men, that they were willing to give back. Maybe the greatest thing that Hockey Canada has going right now.
And I think a lot of the old hockey players have passed off their knowledge. I know I have.
One night in trail, the junior team had a chance to play against the 61 World Championship smoke eaters, who were all towards close to retirement. And I remember how we thought that we were playing a bunch of old guys and this was going to be sort of a fun night. Well, we lost the game, I think it was 6-1. And I remember going out for 2 shifts. I lost both draws and we didn't touch the puck. They were so smart. It was really something to see.